Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. A joint analysis by Yomiuri Shimbun Online and Sakana AI revealed that China's cognitive warfare, initially launched last November, likely targeted Japan's lower house election held in February. The analysis, which examined X, formerly Twitter, posts from January 19th to mid-February, found a surge in anti-Japan narratives, peaking at 4,000 posts on Election Day, February 8th. While the scale wasn't as large as previous operations, the content shifted to criticize Japan's internal affairs, militarization, and economic vulnerability. Significantly, China ramped up its English-language communications, with such posts quadrupling Japanese ones in November and consistently outnumbering them in subsequent months. Japanese government sources suggest this indicates a shift towards influencing international public opinion after domestic polling showed little impact on the Takaichi cabinet's support. A Chinese government source confirmed the intent to maintain pressure on former Prime Minister Takaichi and prevent other nations from siding with Japan, emphasizing English for broader international penetration. 187 words. Asahi Shimbun reports that Japan has seen a dramatic increase in refugee applications immediately classified as not clearly meeting persecution criteria under the Refugee Convention, with such cases surging 20-fold last year compared to the previous year. Simultaneously, the number of forced repatriations conducted at public expense with accompanying officials reached an all-time high. Refugee support organizations are expressing serious concerns about the negative consequences of the Immigration Services Agency's Zero Illegal Stayers plan, which began in May last year. This plan aims to accelerate refugee screening by increasing the classification of B cases. Applications frequently denied through document review due to not clearly meeting persecution criteria. The agency's rationale is that many individuals repeatedly file refugee applications without legitimate grounds, solely to prolong their stay in Japan. Under the Immigration Control and Refugee Recognition Act, individuals can be deported after their third application, even if their refugee claim is still pending. By expediting the review process and increasing deportations, the agency seeks to reduce the number of illegal stayers. According to the agency's announcement on the 27th, 187 individuals were recognized as refugees last year, a decrease of 3 from the previous year, while 11,298 applied, a decrease of 1,715, 115 were categorized as B cases, representing 14% of all applications and a 20-fold increase from the 80 cases in the preceding year. The Immigration Services Agency asserts that this increase is the result of appropriately classifying misused or abusive applications. Being categorized as a B case often leads to denial without an interview and precludes the issuance of a designated activities visa, which would normally allow applicants to stay in Japan during the review process. The French transport, agricultural, and fishing industries are mobilizing in protest, citing insufficient government subsidies to cope with soaring oil prices. According to World Journal, the Middle East conflict, specifically the U.S.-Israel attack on Iran and Iran's subsequent blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, has driven Brent crude prices above $110 per barrel. In response, the French government announced temporary fuel aid totaling $70 million, targeting these specific sectors. This includes 50 million euros for micro and small to medium transport enterprises, providing a 0.2 per liter subsidy from April 1st. farmers are offered a 0.0 ynm pros nadiscan servana, while the fishing industry receives a 0.2 per liter diesel subsidy. However, industry representatives have largely dismissed these measures as inadequate. The National Federation of Road Transporters labeled the aid incomprehensible and insufficient, confirming protests will commence this weekend. Agricultural unions similarly called their subsidy a drop in the ocean given diesel price hikes. Other European nations, such as Spain and Italy, have implemented more comprehensive fuel tax reductions, while Germany has focused on price regulation at gas stations. Diesel prices in France have risen by nearly 30% since the conflict began, leaving many freight operators facing losses as price indexation takes time to implement. French automaker Renault announced its Futurity plan to deploy 350 headless Calvin 40 humanoid robots across its global electric vehicle production lines by 2027. The first batch of these robots, developed by Wandercraft, will be introduced at the Douai factory in France, where the Renault 5e tech is produced. Unlike other humanoid robots, Calvin 40 features a headless design focusing on efficiency and cost-effectiveness. Its primary role is to handle repetitive and heavy-load tasks, such as moving tires to conveyor belts and transporting body panels, with the ability to lift up to 40 kilograms. Equipped with AI and autonomous navigation, these robots are part of Renault's broader industrial metaverse system, which uses digital twin technology to simulate production processes. This initiative has already reduced the production time for a single Renault 5e tech to under 10 hours. Renault aims to boost EV production efficiency by 30% by 2027, challenging competitors like Tesla and Chinese brands. The company assures employees that the robots are designed as powerful assistants for logistics and heavy lifting, not to replace human technicians who remain crucial for tasks requiring precision and high flexibility. This news comes from Sinda. Samoa's Prime Minister Toa Leue Smith has been acquitted of all charges in a high-profile conspiracy case by the district court in Apia. According to RNZ, the charges against him included conspiring to pervert the course of justice and fabricating evidence. The case originated from the Prime Minister's own investigation into a fatal hit-and-run incident in 2021, while Toa and two others, former MP Fepulai Fasavalu Sua and former police officer Leo Fato Malioava, were cleared. Senior District Court Judge Talasa Ato Saicha found two co-accused, Sam Sua and Sivai Kepi, guilty of defamation and perverting the course of justice, respectively. The initial charges against Toa in January 2025 led to a significant political crisis, including his termination as Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries by then Prime Minister Fiame Naomi Mataafa, and ultimately snap elections in August last year. Toa had consistently maintained his innocence throughout the proceedings. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.